We're live outside the Kansas City Class 5 idle morgue. Time is 8:16 a.m. There we have a Sea Org member arriving by foot. Sea Org car undergoing maintenance in the parking lot. And probably whoever opened the door this morning. So here's a view of the org from across Grand Street. Take a look at the upper floors if we can. Sun's in my eyes, so I can't see it very well. Good morning to, I can't see who that is. Sea Org member who walked in trying to enter the building, but the door is locked. So I can read now. Fuzzy. Good morning, Fuzzy. And let's see, it looks like there's no traffic. So I'll cross the street. So I missed seeing exactly, it looked like a couple of people arrived in that car. That's one of the Sea Org members. And we have another vehicle here. I don't think that's a Sea Org member. Hi, Joe. I'm doing fine. Fine enough to be up on a cool Sunday morning. So we're here at it's 8:19 a.m. So we're going to greet the foundation staff as they arrive. Okay, that and the passenger I think is a Sea Org member. The driver I don't think is. So they finally were allowed in. So taking a look down the alley. So I thought I heard a door open over there, but I can't tell who it is. walk over here, take another look at the parking lot. Still early, so we only see a couple of cars in there, but we'll get a different view. So I do not recognize this blue car across the street. The gray car back over there on the ramps belongs to one of the Sea Org members. And we saw it there on Thursday. So must be doing more than an oil change on it. So looking down the sidewalk, looks like we have a homeless person camped out in front of the Green Lady Lounge. Let's go over there and see if the chalkwork still exists. They have cleaned up chalk work that Z-News did, which was right here. But they left their pithy sayings that they chalked into the sidewalk, pithy sayings from The Way to Happiness. And Z-News had chalked right in here, and that's been cleaned up. We expect that was cleaned up shortly after we left on Thursday. So it is now 8:24 a.m. Looking for more staff arrivals, most of which are Sea Org. This being the weekend, they have the foundation staff. Kind of heavy box truck. We have the city water services. Yep, there we have a couple more Sea Org members. And they are walking in. I guess it's looks like they stopped by Messenger Coffee. Well, coffee is not cheap. They spend the entire day's earnings on a cup of coffee. Interesting. Cafe inside the org. Why would they not get their coffee there? Well, I don't think we could expect logic from someone who's in Scientology. All right. And let's see, Ellie did some chalking here at this corner, and that's been cleaned away. And after a while, we'll cross the street. It looks from here like they cleaned out the chalking that she did at that corner. All right, well, let's see, 8:28. Let me zoom out. Oops. So you won't be so dizzy when I pan. Yeah, let's see, we got a streetcar passing by on Main Street, a couple blocks to the west. I think that's a Scientologist crossing the street. And he doesn't look like a Scientologist. Crossing the street to avoid the cult of Scientology, perhaps. Hello, Western Missouri Variety. Yeah, what's happening today is 11 o'clock, they supposedly have Sunday services. And the plan was to stick around and see how many people go in for Sunday services. Probably not many, or maybe not any. Okay, at that corner across, got a corner across the street, we have a couple of Sea Org members. 60s. So, not too bad compared to how it has been. So, wow, they're setting out their sidewalk sign early. Maybe they take advantage while the SP is still across the street. Okay, let's zoom out. Since I'll be walking around, don't see anything interesting at the moment. All right, so let's see, 8:33. Still have not had a huge number of staff arrivals. I've counted about 35 staff members on previous visits, and I think about 2/3 of them are Sea Org members. So if little Captain Davy got a wild hair up his butt and says, you know, those Sea Org members have been there for 5 years, it's time for them to move on to some other place, this org would be in a world of hurt. Street there we have a few people walking their dogs past Messenger Coffee, which is this building right there. Let's see, that looks like Charlie. That's not Charlie. Continued on past. Okay, just doing a scan of what I can see. and activity. Don't see anybody coming down Grand Street here. All right, so how do I distinguish staff from Sea Org? Aren't they both in uniform? No, it's not the vest color. The way I tell them apart is that they're split. The org is actually split into a day org that takes weekdays from 10 to 6, and a foundation org which takes evenings and weekends. And when I see the same person arriving both on a weekday and a weekend, I suspect them of being Sea Org. Particularly if they walk in on foot, particularly if they arrive in a car with it's a large number of people. Now, I mentioned that in a chat with Alex there in the UK, and he says, well, you can't use that because foundation and day org may trade off shifts. You know, like if a public staff member wants to go on vacation, they may make arrangements with the same hat in the other org to cover their shift while they're gone. But when you see the same people arrive several times at several different times, yeah, I think they're Sea Org. Yep, here on the 20th of next month, that parking lot is scheduled to be taken over with Winter Wonderland. They'll have a petting zoo and Santa, and maybe rides for the horseback rides for the kiddies, pony rides. All right, so 8:40 in the morning. We'll probably see most of them arriving shortly before 9 o'clock. And since this is the weekend, the parking meters have a parking holiday, so they'll probably park right over here. Morning. Yeah, let's see, we had another vehicle pull in there. I think that's a public staff member. Scientologist. Whoops. That car probably not a Scientologist. Okay, gotta set the phone down for a second. That car continuing on past, so not a Scientologist, as I thought. I didn't recognize the car. Yeah, another point in favor of the being Sea Org is that when Natalie was here back in August, we were watching people come in, and she commented, "Yeah, that's a Sea Org, or that's a Scientologist. I don't think he's a Sea Org." Anyway, Natalie, she commented right off the bat that the org had lots of Sea Org, so maybe they put on a Sea Org vibe. Oh, there's Charlie's car. Looks like we have more staff arriving. I don't recognize that red car, but probably Foundation staff. So, several people getting out of that red van. I think that tall guy back there in the vest, well, he's in the back at the moment. I think he's the one who drives, is he the one who drives that gray car? I can't tell for sure. Yeah, all Scientologists, like I thought. And that guy, I don't recognize him, but still I would guess he's a Scientologist. Let's see if he goes in. He went in. Okay, zooming back out. Yeah, no one else arriving at the moment. And it is 8:46 in the morning. Okay. Set the phone down for a second. Anything planned at, yeah. There's a foundation staff member arriving in that Mercedes. Let's see if he brought anybody with him. At times we've seen that guy in the white Mercedes taking Sea Org members home an hour early, like at 9 o'clock in the evening. So what do we expect to have happen this morning? Well, probably nothing, but what is scheduled is they have Sunday services at 11 o'clock. So the plan is, if I can hold up, to wait around until about 9 o'clock to see if we have many people come in. Okay. Nothing going on in the parking lot. Let me extend this and try to keep Okay, that couple down the street, I don't think they're Scientologists. Probably just people who live in the neighborhood taking a morning walk. Yeah, streetcar just went by on Main Street a couple of blocks west. Okay, that couple walking up the sidewalk. They might be Scientologists. I do not recognize them, but still they smell like Scientologists. Yeah. And there we have a car full of Sea Org members. Let's see, it's like 3 passengers, 4 passengers. Okay, that blue car, they snuck in while my attention was diverted. I think just the glance I had looked like those were Sea Org members. Okay, this white car here, I've seen her driving a different car, I think. Well, I'm not sure. Okay, do a time check here. 8:54. I think that's most of the staff members. Noticed someone in that red car, and now he's pulling out. Wonder what that was all about. Okay, got another car pulled up. Probably a public staff member. That black car behind the white car. Had a young man get out. Okay, that's the Asian Foundation member, staff member. I've seen him before. Sometimes, and someone walking up the sidewalk. Smells like a Scientologist. Fire engine coming up south on Grand Street. Okay, that person crossing the street, I think, is Shanna, who is the senior. Oops, we just had someone come in from the east and go into the org. Anyway, this woman, I think her name is Shanna, and is the senior case supervisor for the foundation org. Faxman Dan is the senior case supervisor for the day org. And he must be more efficient in his job, because I don't usually see him come in. I've seen him come in several times around 2:15, somewhere in there. Okay, 8:58. So anybody we see coming in now is either a staff member arriving late or someone arriving for, I think they have courses at 9:30. Judging by Jerry's activities, when he makes an appearance for a cigarette break, that's kind of an indicator from which we infer what the course times are. So we have not seen Jerry for a while. Maybe we've just been here the wrong time of day. Yeah, I wonder how they feel rolling out of bed and coming to the cold. Well, I don't know, but they do it. And Sea Org members, we see them here late at night. Even on a Saturday night, I've seen Sea Org members here well after closing time at 6 o'clock on weekends. All right, so a couple are walking up the street. I think they're walking a dog, so they're not Scientologists. Okay, if you heard the clicks, that's a portable chair being assembled. Okay, again, the time is 9:02. So we do not expect to see any more staff arrivals. Okay. We just had somebody arrive. My view of the doorway is blocked by that SUV. See if I could find a better position to sit at. Okay, got a few people crossing in front of the org. They do not smell like Scientologists to me. And they are walking on past. Set the phone right over there. It's a slightly better view. And a slightly windier view. Yeah, you just can't win. Was forecast to be kind of windy and gusty this morning. So far, not too bad. Perhaps the wind direction is such that the building's attenuated. Kind of hard to tell what the wind is going to do next to a building like this. It either channels the wind and makes it stronger, or diverts it and makes it weaker. So you never know. So the alarm went off for that white Sea Org car and reset. I guess that there is a little bit more crime here in this area, but so far I haven't had any trouble. I guess the closest I've seen is one evening when I arrived. Shortly after I arrived, I heard of some glass breaking in the car that was parked right where this white mini SUV is. Somebody waiting at the light decided, hey, that looks like an inviting car, and they smashed the driver's window. Just cleaned out of their car and smashed the driver's window. And that car belonged to a Scientologist. And I told about, I don't know, half a dozen Scientologists that, you know, the one who owned the car might want to come out and check on it. And it was half a dozen, or about a half a dozen, 5 or 6 of them before one of them agreed to go tell the person. Now, one person I haven't seen is L. Adrians. He's a foundation staff member. He's also an OT, he's probably an OT8. And one of the whales of the order. He's one that donated several $100,000 to refurbish this building and turn it into the org. Ideal org. Okay, the wind is picking up. I'm gonna move the phone over here. The wind isn't quite as strong. The view is not as good, but we have somebody just going forward. So the door closing. Going on in the chat. Hi Amy. Hi Marcy. Oh yes, if you're referring to the guy who had his window broken, yeah, he may have spent some time in sec checking for that. Okay, somebody making a trash run. The Scientology dumpster is at the corner of their parking lot. Right. And yeah, you can see the green dumpster there at the corner of their parking lot. No, I'm not going to do any dumpster diving. I'm not going to trespass on their property. We'll leave the law breaking to the Scientologists. Okay, it's about 9:14. And he's coming back. He's making his way across the street. Rather than crossing next to the SP. Alright, so I'm going to swing the gimbal back around and keep watching the front of the board. Alright, so 9:16 and we have no activity here outside the Kansas City Class 5 idle morgue. Oops. Reposition my phone. Black Prius just pulled into the alley, probably parking in the adjacent business's parking lot there off the alley, which they can get away with on the weekend. Thank you, Sarah. Taking his trash cart back in the org. Yeah, well, we just had a car pull into the Scientology parking lot. It looks like a young family. Looks like a little girl. Looks like she might be old enough to be sex checked. She'll be an auditor herself, probably. Probably not here for Sunday services. Let me pull the phone around this side and make sure it's aimed properly. Okay, 4 small children. Headed into the org.
By myself, me and my family, you know, nobody. So I don't need nobody.
Yep. That's what I really hate to see is kids going into the org. Yep, and we got another car pulling into the alley. And it looks like somebody crossing the street going to org. I didn't notice her pull in. Yep. Okay, so we have somebody else crossing the street. I think he's a Scientologist. He may have pulled in to the parking lot while I was diverted, and that closest white SUV. We got somebody else. Is that the guy I see carrying the coffee can safe in? So actually, this is a, let's see, 923. This activity is actually a little bit higher than I normally see. Yep, I've got another couple going on. This is actually quite a bit more activity than I normally see. Time is 9:24.
We'll have to go next time. Beautiful building.
Yep.
I gotta go to just on the girls' room. It's like my friend's dad's.
Yep. As expected, those are Scientologists. I think I've seen them before. And someone coming up from the east. See a Scientologist? Yep. Going into one. So take a look at the parking lot just to see what it looks like. So that pickup truck, I think that's one guy we saw going in earlier. Still not a huge number of people for the parking lot, considering that it's the weekend and people are off of work, so not a huge, even though it's more than I've seen in the past, it's still not a huge number of people in here taking courses. So, we try relocating. See if I can spot with a little bit less wind. Okay. Less wind, more sun. Unfortunately, the sun is kind of in my face, but see how we're doing. Time, let's see, 9:28. So we have a couple of minutes for late arrivals, last minute arrivals. Oop, looks like you didn't notice him go out. That's the trash guy. Did he go in or did he start to come out and go back in? I have a feeling he started to come out, saw they went back in, and decided to go out the side entrance. So we'll probably see him here in a minute. I'm keeping my eyes open to see if he comes out the west side of the building and crosses the street. So it's just cool enough that being in the sun is actually a little bit more comfortable than not being in the sun. Of course, by 11 o'clock, this spot will be in the shade. (9:30). So anyone who shows up now is late for a 9:30 course. Okay, there's Charlie and one of the other Sea Org members. The other Sea Org member has his backpack. Where would he be going? He normally rides in with Charlie. If it's the one. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Actually, not sure I recognize him. Yeah, they might be here for Sunday service, but this early, I rather doubt it. It doesn't start till 11:30. Who would want to keep 5 children occupied for an extra hour and a half? Okay, swinging it back around to the org. Okay, some people getting ready to cross the street over there. Okay, they're going across 18th Street, so they're not coming into the org. And there's Charlie. I wonder why he's going that way. Charlie's continuing on east on 18th Street. Let's see if he turns. Okay, he's turning south on Oak Street. So I wonder where he's taking that guy. All right, thank you for stopping in, Sarah. Free Trust Boulevard swap meet. I'm not familiar with the Boulevard swap meet, but I have a feeling if it's here in town somewhere, that if I showed up, they would have the owner of the swap meet chase me off the property. Wind shift directions and gusts. Well, we expect things to be kind of quiet for the next hour and a half. I don't think they have another session starting between now and 11 o'clock. Probably won't see a lot of people coming in for Sunday services either. So basically, I'm here to watch a whole lot of nothing. Well, I hope I'm not surprised. Hello, MD Media. Good morning to you. Space. So if I were to be asked whether I prefer L. Ron Hubbard or Davy in charge, I think I prefer Davy in charge, because under LRH, Scientology grew. And since Davy took over, the membership has declined. Sure, he's gotten lots of donations and lots of fancy new buildings, but his membership has declined. So that means that fewer people are being abused by Scientology. And if abuse of senior Sea Org members is part of it, well, that's their choice. Legally, they can get up and leave at any time. The only thing that's holding them there is their brainwashing. So, Don Brown, one of the OTs here and a public member, thinks that there are 7 million people in Scientology. And I tried the math out with 150 orgs. Well, what? And then he stopped me and said, "Oh, what about all the missions?" Well, here in the Midwest, in the territory covered by the KC org, we've got one mission, and that's the one in Wichita. But with 3.5 million, with 7 million members, you'd expect about half of them would be in the U.S., or about 3.5 million. And doing a little math, that would be 1 in every 100 persons. And since the greater Kansas City metro area alone has over 2 million people, then you'd have 20,000 people in this building, and it would be busting the seams. And that wouldn't count visitors from surrounding cities like Topeka and Tulsa, Lincoln and Omaha and Des Moines. We have all that population to add on top of it, which would at least double it. So how would all these people fit in this building and do their courses? Because there aren't any missions to take care of them. If you went, well, wait a minute, what about, why are you assuming that half of them would be in the U.S.? Okay, well, doing it the other way, that would be 7 million people evenly distributed around the world would be about 1 in 1,000 people. So you would have 2,000 people here in the local Kansas City area. And it would still be a tight fit in this building. But I doubt that Don Brown is convinced by that logic. As David Miscavige says that Scientology's stats are straight up and vertical. Scientology is expanding and blah, 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 blah. So while we're waiting, let's see if I can show you, if I can tip the gimbal. There's the moon. You can see there the moon in the morning. It's about a quarter of a moon. And I think the sky is just clear enough and the angles are just right that you can see it. So if you're in the U.S. and have a clear sky, you can see the moon about at the position of about where the moon is at about, or where the sun is at about 2 in the afternoon. That's where the moon is right now. So 9:44 in the morning. Yep, sounds like we got a streetcar going down the street. Streetcar makes bell sounds. I don't think the streetcars actually have a bell. I think it's just a recording of a bell. And that pesky wind has shifted directions again. Coming in from the west. Let's see if this is a little better. Yep, that puts the street lamp pole right away. Let me shuffle around. See if I can get you a little better angle. Okay, well, you can see the door. But no matter, we have no traffic at the moment. That's what I expect to see. That's what I hope to see. Okay. So 9:50. No activity. Okay, let's see. Time-wise, 9:50. 9:52, is it? 9:53. Still quiet here outside the Kansas City Class 5 Idle Morgue. The activity is weeds being blown around in the wind. Some sirens in the distance. Sound like police sirens. Yep, not getting closer. Called the cops on us 3 times. At no time had the police arrived with lights and sirens. So far they've looked around and saw what we're doing and said we're not breaking the law, we're doing our First Amendment rights. So they headed off. Last time though, they were inside about 25 minutes, a half hour, something like that. I don't know what they showed them. But they didn't show them the first time that they called them out because we weren't doing anything different. Okay, 9:56 in the morning. Nothing happening. So police officer just now heading south on Grand, driving normally. Aircraft flying overhead, flying east. Must have just taken off from the downtown airport. It is now 10 o'clock straight up. And my phone is recharged to 88%, so we're doing good. Okay, so all quiet here. A little bit after 10 o'clock, 10. Sun's in my eyes, I have a hard time reading the display. It's 10:03. Do I have a heated jacket? Yes, I have a heated jacket, but I don't have the heater turned on at the moment because it's supposed to be, it's probably about 50 degrees right now. So yeah, it's actually kind of nice. It's comfortable temperature-wise out here in the sun. We're about to lose the sun, but it is a little bright in my face. I should have brought my cap with me so I could 15C. Yeah. Well, I don't. Here in the U.S., we have to be different than the rest of the world, so we don't think in metric. Yeah, here next week, we're forecast to have low temperatures in the mornings and down at about in the 20s. So winter has set upon us. 69 degrees in Plano. Yep. That's the way it is in Texas. I used to live down there in the DFW area. I remember one time we were below freezing down there for several days in a row. It breathlessly came on the news and says, "We've been 100 hours below freezing." So far in Kansas City, we've had first frost in late October, and then we had a hard freeze the other night. But temperature is mostly above freezing. But it is cool enough. All summer we've been seeking the shade, avoiding the sun. And now we switched over to where it feels more comfortable to be in the sun. So, 10:07. Have not seen anyone go into the org for a while. Oh yes, a few years ago you had the deep freeze down there and power shortage on top of it. So yeah, it wasn't too good. That was back in the spring of 21, I think. Okay, for the moment, nice and quiet, not even wind blowing. And particularly no one going in or out of the org. So it's about 10:09. 10:09. So, going to a wider view here. Left engage, at least the shade's still pulled. Does not look like they put the hiding tech in the door. May have to walk across there. We haven't been hanging out right in front of the org today. We haven't been on the sidewalk in front of the org much, so maybe they decided they didn't need to employ their door hiding tech. I guess we'll have to take a look before we leave. It looks like we have a straight person coming over to talk to me. I'm sorry?
That's my
Your promise?
Introducing my first single boss. That's how you boss. At the end of the road, I want you to record. Jeez, they won even though they lost. They still get a Tommy blanket, a Tommy Hilfiger coat with the matching purple hat and gloves set. If they didn't make it out. And the pajamas came from Walmart, but they a character.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I'm here to.
I'm telling them how to boss. Alright? We're gonna say it one time. It starts when they take off and they own this. $30 get you a different. 50 get you
You can drop to your walk your rack
yeah,
there.
I'm gonna give it. $50 on this will get you 2 sticks. Okay? You're either gonna win. At the end of the day, there's 10 minutes in the previous mess, dope, top to the bottom. Kenny Cole, Dolce in the bottom, Michael
There you go.
Life. He gave his whole life for our sins. Give up something that's a lighter, I got you. Hell up there. It's a never-ending song. Life is a never-ending story. Like a mission. I ain't looking good today. I ain't gonna rescued who? Mazda, on my way to play tennis, healthy, safe.
Okay, 10:15 in the morning.
I want 40 water. Back in the day, we called it 40 water. Missy Elliott, J.D. Rod Stewart. Played the piano. Elvis. No, Elvis didn't. You know that man that played the piano. I want Tim McGraw, Carrie Hilson. I want Carrie Underwood. Carrie. not gonna laugh at you. That's how you boss. That's how you boss. Baby, you ain't know you really need to
The expectation is like always different for each person.
We acknowledge that you have been somebody motherfucker loaded up in the motherfucker. They doing God's will. You keep your word. Peace to the Middle East.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's how you boss.
Yep. He's almost right, but it's not his fault.
Always. Kelly Price.
Scientology misspells the word cult.
I want to go see Ryan Carey, Nick Cannon. It is crazy, man. You know, Casey Craig. He out here creating babies straight from nationalities and shit. Man, merry go round and round. Oh, where is Keith Sweat? Merry go round and round. Spike Lee City in New York. Wake up! America! Our leader believes in chemical warfare and he don't believe in God. That's how you both expose the devil. Put a fireplace on their ass and make them stop there and pray. 2 minutes. You gotta stop and pray no further than over. Close the doors. Fentanyl. Testing positive for fentanyl. Back out. Yeah,
Yep.
stop and piss.
Yep. Don't want to have anything to do with fentanyl.
Right here, right now. COVID, baby. COVID test. Done by. You're supposed to be at the end, you'll have another place test free at the health care. That's how you boss. That's how you boss. Keep burning up kids. You see the pedophile. I can't feel so third. What we having? I feel good morning. We having, I'm typing, little bro. I ain't the pedophile. I ain't the pedophile. But you went up the other time. Right? That's how you boss. A lot of money. There it is.
Yeah, it looks like we got a pickup truck that goes around and picks up scooters and recharges them. Looks like they're dropping them off.
I ain't gonna tell them that. That's a secret, baby. Well, I'm not telling you nothing.
Yep, it is a character. Oreo Ritz.
All day Saturday we hustle with the vendor tables and we walking in y'all. We give you $25 worth an ounce, $1 an ounce. Your booth is free. Feel what you want. Get you a table. Feel what you want. No, throwing trash. Get you fired. Fuck out. Throwing shit at me. Fire. Now back out. Bitch cussing. Hollering. Hell no. Trifling ass, look at her pennies, look at her house key. All in the trash can. Look at her trifling ass, pretty I see rat. Look at her. Look at her shit.
Yeah, so there we have a CNET woman entering the org.
Back out.
Or about to enter the org. I've seen her before.
cycle and you'll
coming in
be
at
$5
about
back.
5 o'clock in the evening.
Otherwise, no refund. Shut the fuck up, call me a bitch. Y'all threatening me. $500 fine.
So I think she's a
Get
staff
your
member.
ass out the street. Bitch, you know, national uniform red, crumble on this thing, bitch.
So probably not here for Sunday services. Now 10:20 in the morning.
26 drive time. What are tax? Where them girls at Prospect, Max, Church Max, Independence Avenue, whatever there? What are tax?
And let's see, let's take a look. Oh, we're 100%
November.
battery.
She alright. December 1st here, then she got 13 days, 3 weeks, 21 days.
There's a deed on it. Well,
Ending date snapshot.
I would say he probably needs some kind of medication. If he went in to Scientology, if he is on his meds, which I don't think he is, Scientology would convince him that he shouldn't be on meds. So that street person has crossed the street. So I guess he's giving Scientology some love at the moment. And we're now 10:22, and this spot is firmly in the shade. So it's a little bit cooler, but we don't have the sun in my eyes. I don't know. He has mentioned the word fentanyl a few times, but I don't know if that's necessarily involved with his problem. Yep, definitely has an issue. Is he on meth? I don't know. I'm not. He doesn't look like his features are, you know, the kind of pictures I've seen of meth heads. So I suspect he just has mental illness of some kind. Yeah, he needs help. I don't know that I could offer him any. So let's see, 10:25 in the morning. Only person I've seen coming in and recently is that staff member. I think she's a part-time staff member. She must be a part-time staff member getting in this late. Yeah, that street person definitely has some issues. I don't know that I could say anything. I have interacted with some of the street people, some that are not quite as irrational as that one. And I don't know. I think they have their own reality, and nothing he can say is going to, is there any winter wonderland there? Not at the moment, but scheduled for December 20th. We set up in the Scientology parking lot category, corner from the org. So, set up, we're scheduled for Winter Wonderland the 20th through the 25th of next month. I guess we'll see what the weather's like. I guess to get a little bit of an idea of the setup, it's was covered by the local TV station KCTV5 back 5 years ago. If you find their YouTube channel and search on Scientology, you can see their news report. They mentioned they didn't have many kids because the weather was cold, but they had a kind of a little musical show to set up for the adults. So we have somebody coming out of the org. And what is he doing? Is he cleaning looks like he's cleaning the window on LRH's, or maybe cleaning up some trash left in the windowsill for LRH's office. That's what it looks like. Yeah, they don't usually pull the shades for LRH's office, but they've got some gauzy curtains there, and together with the daytime reflections, you can't see in there, but at night you can see in there. Has a nice big globe of TGX in his office. Don't know if he has any cool cigarettes in his desk drawer. See the Phrygia at night. Yeah, you can. Well, it depends. You can see it. Let's see. They have some hiding tech, so you can't see the. I'll have to go back and look. They have some hiding tech on the inner door there on the west side of the building, so you can't look through to see the reception desk. I don't know what's going on at the reception desk. They take extra steps to hide the reception desk. I think what they're hiding is the non-activity at the reception desk, as in nobody coming in lined up at the reception desk for services or to find out about Scientology. Almost lunch. Well, it's 10:30 in the morning. Yep. The door you look in to see the refrigerator is actually the stated address for the building. So while the main entrance is around the corner, so quite often we see delivery people pulling up and going to that door and then reading the sign that tells them to come to this door. They have the sign in the parking lot that tells them the Scientology is at 1805 South Grand, but again, that's the address of the building, but that's not the main entrance for the building that's being used. So Sunday service is supposed to be in 29 minutes. I think mainstream Christian denominations, a half hour before services, you have people lined up or coming in early to fellowship and drink some coffee and whatnot. So let's see, we had a question, which is there a Scientology sign outside the building like in the Boston org? Well, are you talking about the sidewalk sign? Yes, there is a sidewalk sign. There's the sign over the door. Kind of hard to read it. They've misspelled cult. And they have a large sign on top of the building. Well, again, they've misspelled cult. But yes, they do have a sidewalk sign there right now. It's hidden behind that red SUV. They put it out even before 9 o'clock this morning. Which I think that violates the ordinance. Because they weren't open for business at the time they set the sign out. So that street person that was here left some of his clothes. No, that's not chained. They don't chain this sign here. I guess people are not as larcenous as those in Boston. But they have placed it at the wrong spot. They've placed it right next to the curb, whereas the ordinance requires that it be placed within a foot of the building and that there will be 5 feet of unobstructed passage past the sign. So I haven't made an issue of a chicken shit violation like that. If they keep calling the cops on us, I might. What's funny is that where they one of the first times that Ellie was out chalking, I think the second time, they brought out Larry, lower conditions Larry, to clean the sidewalk. I stood over part of this chalk. Osa Matt came up to me and accused me of blocking the entrance when I was standing right next to their sidewalk side, and he was closer to the door. So I do have a regular video of that episode on my channel, in case you're interested in seeing it. So, 10:36. Not seeing a crowd of people coming in for Sunday services. Put this at, yeah. Are you talking about the week the refrigerator arrived when they put the sign the wrong way around? Yeah, one of the other things, in additional to the placement, the ordinance also requires that they have an insurance policy that covers the city. Since they're not putting the sign in conformance. Oh, there's somebody entering. No, that's just the public. Maybe snapping a picture of it. Anyway, yeah, they're probably don't have the insurance coverage on the sign that the ordinance requires. So, yet another chicken shit violation, but I wasn't going to call the cops on them for a chicken shit violation. Even that white Sea Org car that's there, that tag you can see from the angle is maybe you can see better from this angle. That's a California tag. That car's been here for several years. In Missouri, you're supposed to re-register a vehicle within 30 days of moving here. He has not done that, obviously. Also, he's missing a plate. California is a two-plate state, so it's supposed to have one in the front, one in the rear. Doesn't have one in the front. So, 10:40. you saying you verified that California requires 2 plates. I guess they can get away with it here in Missouri because cops aren't that familiar with California. It's all the way halfway across the country. Plus, neighboring Kansas only requires a rear plate. So they're used to seeing cars without front plates. Oh, are you referring, Joe? Are you referring to the car that, or the vehicles that Freed 8, license plate Freed 8 owns? Yeah, Freed 8 is the person his Mercedes was the one that had the window broken. And he's noticed that Freed 8 tag that was on that vehicle has also been placed on a old used minivan that he's been driving as well. Wondering if he got that old minivan as being less likely to have its windows smashed. Because having a Mercedes, if you're looking for a car to break in, Mercedes suggests that the owner might have some wealth. But Mr. Freed 8, I've seen him here for several months, and that tag is, the Freed 8 tag is Virginia plate. So he should have updated to Missouri tags as well, or Kansas tags, wherever he lives. It seems to me that his Mercedes might have the front plate, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't seen the Mercedes for a while. So 10:45. Sunday services starting in 15 minutes. Are we going to see anybody showing up for it? Probably not. Yeah, I don't know about the one plate versus two states. Kansas has always been a one plate state, in my experience. .48, 12 minutes. 12 minutes before services. Still not saying anyone show up. Thanks for stopping by, Oreo Ritz. .49. Will anybody show up for Sunday services? I doubt it. .50. Still not seeing a horde of people. Let's go take a look at the parking lot. Just in case anybody's showing up there. Not a lot of cars. Plenty of room for someone to come in for some readily available. Spilled some liquid on the ground here for some reason. Yep, there you can see their sidewalk sign. This car is from Nevada. Interesting. Oops. Okay, they do have the hiding tech in the door. It's kind of hard to see from across the street. So somebody parking there. Let's see, is that the same black Prius that I used to see parked in the parking lot for a long time? As in it was maybe disabled, or the owner left it there while he went out of town for a long trip. Let's see, this car is very big. So we'll stop here at the corner and see if that couple, they smell a little bit like Scientologists. But no, they're walking on past. So another angle into the parking lot. Going on there. A view of the west side of the building. Nothing going on there. Sorry about that. We do have some lights on. Let's see, that's the second, third, fourth floor. I think the fourth floor might be trading. Lights on in there. But not a lot of cars out here. So there we have somebody arriving. Maybe there is somebody coming in for Sunday service. Or maybe they're not Scientologists, they just happen to decide to park the.
Wait. 18th Street, wrong side of Wall Street. Okay, so young family with 2 kids, and it looks like they may be going into the org. 10:59. Yep, they are going in the org. So that's not too bad. Okay, it's almost 11. It is 11. So we didn't see too many people. Okay, well, I got things to do, places to go and things to do. So thank you all of those who stuck with me. And have a happy Thanksgiving. Bye.